Hello and welcome. I'm Patricia Rosatello. Thank you so much for stopping by, and make sure to like, share, react to this, and certainly feel free to ask questions or leave comments if this is a replay. And because there's issues when I don't say this, gentlemen, I'm really sorry, the pretty face is taken. So if you've been watching my page, you'll notice I've been doing Facebook Lives about building your brand and authority. What you might not know is that I've built a group for people to come in and discuss it, as well as get help through a weekly Ask Me Anything and some private live videos. So make sure you check it out and join by going to the link in the description. Today I have Debbie Miller with me. Debbie is a self-taught graphic artist and designer. She's published several hundred books. She enjoys using her creative talents to inspire others. She can almost always be found sitting at her computer researching ideas for books or other marketing products. Debbie lives a simple life as she explores her passion for self-independence, creative writing, and being an online woman entrepreneur. Hello, Debbie. How are you today?
Hello, Pat. I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a really good day. I'm so happy to have you with us.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
So while I know that you're an author today, what did you do before books?
Well, basically, I actually started out my whole life waitressing, and then I actually ended up landing a job doing computer tech support for a small internet company for 5 years. Because of scale backs, they scaled my job back. So that kind of led me to going to another job, a food retail, which I worked there for 3 years. And the money was okay. I paid my bills, but at times it just wasn't enough. And I was scrambling at times just to make ends meet. So I was looking for a way to supplement my income. And I discovered, actually what really happened is because I was trying to supplement my income, I received an email from a friend and she said, look at this. And it sent me to a link about a couple doing Kindle books that made a lot of money. It inspired me so much that I actually started researching it and watching it and just started doing Kindle books. But then I found out about the print-on-demand books, and that just basically, I went crazy when I found out that. And I fell in love with it, and I took off, and I went with it.
Awesome. Yeah. And that's what precipitated your decision to write them and sell them on Amazon.
Yes. Yeah. It's easy, and it's not hard.
Yeah. So what kind of books do you write?
Basically, my books are they're called pod books, which stands for print-on-demand books. And what they are is they're like journals, they're diaries, they're scrapbooks, they're blank recipe books, they're medical journals, they're workbooks, just basically books that people can write in, paste pictures in, notes, they can scrapbook and stuff like that. And then you upload them to a place called CreateSpace that Amazon owns. And then after 3 or 5 days, they appear on Amazon. Once somebody orders the books, they get printed.
Yeah.
And so I started I started researching as to what was out there, and I started reading the Amazon comments of what people liked and didn't like. So I kind of like took notes of what was out there, applied my own creativity to it, and developed my own style.
So how did you decide to write this kind of a book instead of, say, novels or short stories or other kinds of books?
Well, I actually started out with Kindle writing, but I do like to write, but I don't know, I get bored of just sitting and writing. I can sit and play in graphics with computers all day, and it appealed to my creativity. It allowed me to express myself more. And so I basically just went with that, and I found out that I hit a good market, and I was actually doing pretty well with it. It inspired me to keep going.
Yeah, yeah. And these are the kind of books that when a person gets done with it, they can turn around and they can order another one. It's not like,
Yeah.
you read a book, you probably only have one copy of the book. I mean, a reading book.
Yes, because like,
Yeah.
for example, someone was like, I do pregnancy journals, for example. And in the pregnancy journals, it's got to where they can write a letter to their baby. They can put about mom and dad. They can keep track of all the trimesters. They can also put pictures in there of when the baby was born and the different things. And normally a woman has more than one baby. So basically, once they have one baby, if they end up getting pregnant again, they have another baby. Then I actually have
Yeah.
follow-up books after that. It's called Newborn Memories, that they can keep
Uh-huh.
track of all the newborns for up to 3 months. Then I have a follow-up book of this to where they can follow up with that. And then I've got the toddler books, and then I've got books for twins. So I just basically kind of made a series for all different generations of people's lifestyles.
Oh, that's just brilliant. It's just amazing.
And then
Just
pets are really popular. So I started doing
mhm.
pets, but instead of just doing one type of book, I started researching the most popular dogs out there. And so I've got, I don't know, like 10 different types of pet memory books, and they all have a different breed on the cover. That was a lot of work.
Mhm.
But
Oh, I imagine.
but everybody's got different breeds, and basically it appeals to the breed they have, and so they're going to order it for themselves, or maybe a neighbor, or a birthday present, Christmas present, because they make great gifts.
They do, and people spend a lot of money on dogs. I
Yes.
mean, if you have a dog person, and you have a cat person, um, dog owners spend, I forget what it is, but I mean, it's a multiple of what you spend on a cat,
Yes.
typically. Just because I mean, not that the cat isn't a member of the family, but you've got collars and you've got leashes and you've got blankets and you've got beds and you got all this really fun stuff that people spend on their dog.
And then another nice
Yeah.
thing too is people are mobile now, and they've got all these cool photo apps on their phones, so they can take
Uh-huh.
awesome pictures, apply a photo app, then save it. Then all they got to do is go to a digital place, print those photos out, and then paste them in their scrapbook. And then they have
Yeah.
tons of memories. And then
Yeah.
so I've got blank recipe books to where I sell a lot of those. What I find is like mothers like buying those to write recipes in them. Then they pass them down to their daughters and granddaughters.
Ah, yes.
And so that's what I
Yes.
get from that. And I get some really good reviews on those.
Excellent. So, how many books do you currently have on Amazon?
Well, I have about 1,222 books.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And
You've been busy.
well, it just basically, I just fell so in love with the book creating that in between working, I took every minute I could just working on the books. And like if I was working at nights until 10 o'clock at night, I'd get home at 10:30. I'd be up until 3 in the morning working on the books. Just get them out there, get them published. And
Yeah.
it took me, well, I've been doing it for 4 years. It took me a year of trial and error to work out my own system and my own type of books. After I got that down, then it was just nonstop. And I worked for 3 years straight. And all I did every spare minute was work on my books.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm sure it pays off.
Actually, at this point in time in life, it does.
Yeah. Can I ask what your process is? Making these books?
Basically, what I do is my books, 90% of them are actually created in Microsoft Word. I use Word to make tables and draw picture boxes and just lay them all out. And because I can add, the front, I can add the title pages, the author pages, and all that. And then once that's all done, I use another program that I actually create my covers with. And each file is uploaded individually to CreateSpace. And then CreateSpace will review it, and they'll either accept it or not accept it. And normally if it's don't accept it, it's a formatting problem. But I've not really had that many problems. So once it's accepted, it goes to Amazon about 3 or 5 days later. But if it's a new book I actually develop with a new style and a new layout, most of the time I'll order a sample of it, because it gives me a chance to actually see my work, hold my work, and see what the customer would actually be getting when they order it.
Right, so that you can proof it to make sure there's no
terrible
mistakes in it. Or
there's been times to where I've sat and looked at that book I don't know how many times, and then when I get the proof, all of a sudden there's that glaring mistake right there in front of me, and I thought, how can I not see that?
That's why you proof it.
Yep.
Definitely. And so these books are now supporting you financially on a regular, ongoing kind of basis. You quit your regular job.
Well, I was actually working towards that. I had plans, but due to health problems, I actually ended up having to leave my job. So now I'm not working, and basically my books are supporting 100%.
Oh, wonderful.
I also, I also do help supplement. I do some small other internet products, but right now it's mostly my books that's supporting me.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people out there, I'm in a lot of the Facebook groups, and there's a lot of people that are like, ooh, how do I get a client? I mean, not clients, but a client. I need money, or I can't afford to leave my job because I don't have enough clients. And, so it's...
I was in the same situation. It's like, I kind of wasn't really happy working in retail. I actually wanted to retire, but I couldn't. So I let that motivation inspire me to want to increase my skills, learn how to do these books so I could get the income. Does it work all the time? No. Are you going to make money right away? No. But once you get it out there, once you start marketing it and people see your book and you start adding more books, it does. It's like a round robin. It does come back, and you will make money off of it.
Yeah. And once you start, then you know what you're doing right. You know how to fix the things that you're not doing right, and then you can you can do more.
Yes, and I've actually got tons of folders on my computers for book ideas that I haven't even started yet. Plus, I started last summer. I started learning. I'm into puzzle books, like word search books, crossword puzzle books, just whatever. People's always going to buy books. There's always going to be a demand of books. Even though the world is mobile, people love books, and it's a stress relief on them. So books are never going to go out of style. So that is basically one place that you can get into that you can always, almost 90% of the time, bring money into the house.
Yeah. I've got a few books on Amazon, and they bring a little bit in. So
the thing is with books, you're either going to have some good titles that would sell good, or you're going to have a lot of books. And that's basically, since I have 1,000 books, that's what's helping bring my income in, is because I have a variety of books. And it's just, and you never know what somebody's going to be looking for. And so having a different type and lots of variety of books out there gives more options for you to sell more books.
Right. So, if you knew, I don't know, let's say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if you knew then what you know now, what would you have done differently?
I probably would have not done too much differently, but except I would have learned to create books sooner. to where because basically, I mean, I've always worked. I enjoyed working, but being my own boss kind of allows me a little bit more freedom to where, when the holidays are here, the summer is here, or if I want to attend an event, I can go, and I'm still making money. To where when you're working that punch the time clock job, they're paying you a paycheck, you've got to be there. Which, that was the lifestyle I grew up with. But learning to do this lifestyle, I'm my own boss now. And if I want to go someplace, I can.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like if you miss so many days of work, you're fired, you're out of a job, you don't have any benefits anymore, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. The only thing drawback is what some people fall into the situation of is even though when you're working at home, you got to look at it as a job. It's still a job.
Yeah.
You still got to make products and get them out there. Because if you don't make those products, if you don't market them, if you don't connect with the people out there, they're not going to sell. Amazon will help you to a certain point, but you have to get out there and you've got to market the books. And the more you push the book and market them, you're going to do a better income. So even though it's nice working from home, you still have to be like, not hard on yourself, but get yourself into a pattern to where you're still working.
Yeah. 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 So you end up setting a schedule for yourself. And
yes. To where, we all fall off the schedule. We all have those days, but at the same time, it just, when you've got to tighten the strings, because when you're placed in a situation where if you don't work, there is no money coming in. Well, no, I take that back. Because normally with the books, I get paid at the end of each month. So, I do have the money coming in. But again, you've got to get out there and promote them a little bit more.
So if somebody who is watching this was on the fence about starting an author career such as yours, where you're, making books and you're putting them on Amazon and you're promoting them and that kind of thing, what kind of advice would you offer?
I tell them to go for it. I mean, basically it's such a great feeling to see a product or hold a product that you've actually created. Yes, it can be intimidating. It can be overwhelming to learn it. Because I took classes, I studied, I researched, and a lot of it was overwhelming. I didn't understand it, but I took it one day at a time, and I learned. And after I got it learned and got it down pat, it's a wonderful experience. And to actually feel, as I said, feel a product that you made and you held is amazing. And with books, there's Kindle books, there's print-on-demand books, there's coloring books. What you need to do is find the research and find a book that touches your soul, that talks to you. And once you find that niche that talks to you, go for it full force, because you won't be disappointed.
And it's not like you have to be a spring chicken to do this.
No, I'm no spring chicken. I actually was in my 50s when I started doing the books, and I just back in February I turned 61 years of age. So it's a good thing now that I took the time to do all that learning, because there's a lot of times I got frustrated, I got aggravated because I couldn't get the style down, I couldn't get the pattern down, and I wanted to give up. But I didn't give up. There was a part of me that wanted to be a published author, to make my own products. And it was a dream I had and a goal to earn my own income. And it just kept pushing me forward.
Okay. So I don't see any questions here today. is what would be the best way for people to, I don't know, connect with you or to find your books on Amazon? Is there a good way to do that?
Well,
What would you suggest?
basically, if they wanted to find my books on Amazon, what they could do is they could actually go to Amazon Books themselves and type in my name, Debbie Miller. And for example, they could do Debbie Miller Pregnancy, Debbie Miller Recipe Books, or Debbie Miller Dog Journals. And
Okay.
basically, that brings up my books, and from there they can go to my author bio page and find different books that I've created.
Excellent. Excellent.
But it just, again, it just, if there's anybody out there that's hesitant to be an author, it's just, oh, excuse me, it just go for it and learn, and it just, you'll be glad that you made the jump.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out. Yeah. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for us today. It's been very fun having this conversation with you.
Thank you for inviting me, Pat, and it gives me an opportunity to share my experience of being a published author, and I'm hoping that my inspiration will help somebody else to get them inspired to want to be a published author themselves.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you for coming and for watching. Be sure to like, share, react to this. And ask any questions you have, leave comments, feel free to tag myself, even if it's a question for Debbie, and I'll make sure that she gets it.
Yeah, if you have a question about publishing a book or not sure where to begin, I've been there, I've done that, and I'll guide you any way I can to help you in the right path.
And I will too. Thank you, and feel free to reach out to either of us. And bye-bye.
Bye. You have an awesome night, Pat. Thank you.
Thanks.